Ramon, how are you today? Good morning. Good to see you again.
From the sports betting capital of the world, Las
That's
Vegas,
right.
Nevada, college basketball capital of the world last night. Uh, the following information is for news matter only, as we used to say on the score phones. I don't know why we said that. It was some legal thing.
Right.
But before you used to go on the broadcast betting information, they'd say that. I guess to make sure they don't get arrested or something. But
Yeah.
we're
Cover
the
kind
new
of
age
go with those
now.
things.
Hello, Mindy Hahn, the Midwest's premier sports handicapper. Hello to Team Steam. You're all fired up and ready on a Sunday. We see your comments. We see everyone in the chat already. Thank you for joining us for Sunday football. Here we go. Getting late in the season, Mindy. We're almost in mid-December. We've got some nice games today. We've already covered the first 7 games of the NFL card on our Thursday show. So if you have time to go back and watch our previews and our 2 premium consensus picks, we're going to have more, I hope, today. But we're only going to cover 4 games. We've already covered 7 games. So we'll see. We'll also have pro basketball, college basketball, and hockey. Well, we could talk a little bit about yesterday over at Tony'sPicks.com, but let's just say hello to everybody
I
because
know. You guys are ready to go this morning. I
chat's
love
going
it.
off already, and that's got me fired up and ready to go. Let's take a look at who's joining us and everybody. Wow, and first start off because Latifa was at Army Navy,
Yes.
Mindy,
I
and
know. That's so awesome. What a game.
yeah, and I mean, I've still, I listen to some of the gambling talking heads. Look, it was, if you were expecting more, you're at the wrong game. I mean, this is
Right.
it played exactly to form. But we're gonna tease Mindy a little bit here. Latifa's comment, okay? You did say Army,
Yep.
and I said I always want the points in this game, despite indicating that the run defenses were a little bit uneven, that maybe Navy had the better run defense. We know these teams are going to run. And the game had never gone overtime, believe it or not, between Army and Navy after
Right.
all these years. Now, I think there were ties previously, I want to say way back, but that was because there was no overtime until 25 or so years ago. And in a low scoring game, you might get overtime. So props to Latifa. Props to you. You guys had the over. I recommended the under. I took the loss, but I feel terrible for that young man. He had the biggest play in the game. They don't even get to that point if he doesn't make the 77-yard touchdown
Right.
run. The fumble was about as close as you could get to being down with his elbow, with the ball was already coming out. But still an awesome spectacle. I always loved the uniforms, and I think Army failed in that. The helmets were great for Army. The Navy helmets and uniform, absolutely terrific. But I was disappointed in Army's uniforms for once. I know what they were trying to do, but great game. No matter, but I'm seeing some of the gambling talking heads because I like to watch shows when I'm prepping for the shows, and they're oh, I started watching basketball. What are you doing? I mean, the game went exactly to 4. I mean,
Right.
here, this is his first completion. It's like the end of the game, right? They run the wheel route to the guy. It's like the biggest play of the second biggest play of the game. So
Right.
Latifa was there. I thought it was, as usual, just awesome. I can't believe it was the first time. So I don't know if Latifa was, like I said, I love the game. The pregame, when the family, I don't watch the pregame, the families watching their, kids talk about them. Brings me choked up right now. Even that's how I am. And I thought it was great. I thought it was terrific. I'm not caring about the gambling result. Hats off to you guys. I think we all agree. We agreed, and Latifa that Army was going to do it because I want the point, the block punt, the touchdown. I mean, what do you know? You had big run, you had special teams, you had a key turnovers. You don't have to have 53 to 45 to have a great game. I don't care. Aesthetically, if you think it's aesthetically not pleasing, don't watch. Don't watch.
Right.
I would take that. And hey, we wouldn't sit there and watch it every week. But when you
but it's yeah, I mean, but it's the one time a year. I mean, and like you said, it was exactly what we expected, But yeah, that's awesome that she got to go. I'm so happy for her because what a fun game, no matter what.
Yeah, it was really great. So hello to everyone coming into the chat. I'd talk about it even more. It was so good. And again, she said it was going over. Okay, Latifah.
That's what I said. I had the over, but I feel like it was kind of cheap, getting it in overtime. But hey, a win's a win, right?
Anybody who follows me on Twitter, Ramon Scott Media, not Tony's pick. If not Tony's picks, Ramon, that's some picks. But if you follow me at Ramon Scott Media, I made a little comment about congratulations. Nice call to all the over backers in that game yesterday. Again, overtime's part of it. So they definitely got the win, no doubt about it. But still, it was totally played. Kevin says we have totals for the NFL. You bet we do. I don't know. We might say we might not because it might be a premium, but whatever. But we're going to preview the 4 games, Kevin, and we do have one premium consensus pick on our show from Thursday. So I don't know. We could have kind of said, but we just try to promote the other shows a little bit. So, and also our consensus plays where you can purchase them. We don't want you to purchase them, Kevin. Just go back and watch the other video here. Or if someone else wants to type it in the chat from I don't mind that either. But Mindy and I have made a kind of an agreement not to reveal any of the previous show. We've slipped up now and then, but again, we package the picks, resell them. We want you to watch every show. That's our little bit of marketing in there, but we appreciate you. And just good morning to everybody. JETS. Kevin's here. I'm not sure. We've just seen Just Kevin. I'll call you Just Kevin. But he's talking about the Jets and Buffalo game. I'll tell you this. Go back and look at our premium consensus from Thursday. One of them involves that game. So good to see Seaver back here as well. Jose is here. Scotch is here. Blake is here. Will Saquon play today? Maybe we can cover that. I mean, again, we don't really cover too much of those early games. Kevin, thank you. There he is again. But he was happy yesterday with the game as well. So Cages joins us. Seaver says, Mindy Seaver says, where is hey Mindy, I want to mention this before we get let me bring up Tony'sPicks.com and we'll take a look at yesterday's Team Steam. Congratulations, everyone, on the 5-3 day. Mindy and I thank you for all your help in getting us to over 500. And where is Mr. Celtics?
I think that was Ron. Ron, are you here? Ron. Are you here? Are you watching?
Ron. Well, again, Ron made a. We're not going to. Right. We want Ron here. We want his picks, and it was a pretty decent game. It was an okay game. The Warriors seemed like they had it. I just wanted to mention, Mindy, I don't know if anybody was tracking the picks yesterday. I just want to mention we did go 3-0 in our NBA consensus picks yesterday.
Right.
Here on the show. So thank you, everybody, for your help and comments there.
Big win with the Bulls. Yeah, I mean.
Yep. We got the big news there that, we had made the play that they still blew them out, so it didn't matter, right? But we ended up. What we lay just a couple of points, one or two maybe, right? But the Bulls ended up because Luka was out, so I don't know if that would have changed. And here's the big thing: I mean, the injury situation just seems to be getting more and more severe. It's tough to make these NBA picks, or not making any excuses at all.
Right.
But we did have the Warriors yesterday, and we had the Utah Jazz. They did a great job too covering the spread. Denver won the game, but we had Utah. They kept it close all the way. But I say it's tough, Mindy, but I just want to let you know that I had an 8-0 day here on the show. I had the over in San Antonio, Miami. I had the over in Brooklyn, Indiana. I had the over in Clippers, Washington. That's a lot of overs for me.
Right.
I also had the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I had the over in Minnesota, Portland. So I went 8-0 here in the NBA on the show.
Perfect, Ramon. That's what it's all about, right? Putting the homework in, getting it done, even when he was traveling. So that was awesome, Ramon.
The Hawthorne Hornets win the state championship.
Which state?
I'll let Curtis come in here and talk a little high school football. Hawthorne is in Florida.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. You did say he was.
I'll mention just because I'm a big high school football fan, so I will mention it yesterday too. A little bit bittersweet. I don't want to dwell too much about my personal life, but moving to Las Vegas, I've been a high school football reporter for the better part of 35 years, covering games every Friday night. I hope to maybe do that here in Las Vegas. I don't know if I'll get that opportunity, but I'll miss it very much. And one of the teams that I cover for my whole entire career made it to the state championship yesterday and also won. So I like high school football, Curtis, very, very much. And I watched that game and I got emotional just thinking about missing high school football on Friday nights.
I think we all need to sit around and watch romantic comedies with Ramon.
Oh yeah, that'd be. I don't. Last movie I might have seen was like Avatar, and I'm not talking about the new one. So cool, Curtis. That's cool. I love high school football. To me, it's almost the purest form of football. And when you're a reporter, when I stand on the field, you've seen Mindy. If anybody's ever looked, like, is it at my Twitter feed? I mean, when I go to a game, I have my clipboard. I have my phone. I shoot videos right from the end zone. I love that, being right next to the hitting and things like that. That's what I'm going to miss. So if anybody's watching from Las Vegas in the media, might be looking for opportunities here. There's some great high school football here in this town. So Butterscotch says might want to unfade the Bulls for a game or two. Matt's here.
We'll take that advice
as well. So anyways, Mindy, over at Tony'sPicks.com, you had the 5-3 day there. Or we did. You had a better, you went 10-8-1. And just want to shout out Tony for sure.
Yeah,
with his
Tony.
5-0-1 day, up 5 units. Let's take a look at what Tony had yesterday on the site, if I can, and see what his plays were. He's got plays loaded up for today. He came in on that over, Portland and Minnesota. He did take the Bulls, and they did roll. I don't know if that was late steam or early. He had the Rebels. I think we had the Rebels too.
Yes, we did.
He took Army, and he had the under in Alabama and Houston. How about that one, Mindy? Houston, maybe they're not all they were cracked up to be.
Or maybe they just gave it away a little bit too. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm not totally convinced that they're not one of the better teams out there. It's just kind of how I think.
Yeah, not going to win them all, and maybe Alabama. I mean, they're a top 10 team as well right now, right? So,
right.
Just a big game. So, I don't know what else caught your eye. Maybe on the college board, we did lose that Wake Forest LSU game. I don't want to talk about dwell on the losses too much, but
well, I mean, I look at my local teams here. So, Nebraska went to overtime with Purdue. Creighton lost to BYU, as I had mentioned on the show that I was like, I think BYU will cover the spread here in this one. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it was a good day for sports yesterday. Watched a lot of basketball myself.
You didn't stay up for that whole BYU Creighton game, did you?
No, I did not. I have to be able to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning here to prepare for the show too. So I have to try to get some rest in there.
Okay. Well, I got a little bit of leeway on you there, so.
Well, you just I mean your schedule's just a little bit shifted from mine, right?
Well, I
You're
stayed
like
up.
3, I'm like 5, so.
I stayed up and watched a little UFC
Oh, okay.
last night. So I just had only 4 plays yesterday. I couldn't. I'm still getting settled in, so just kind of not set to go with all the premiums right now. I don't want to force anything. I'll be in action today. I'm just not even ready yet. They're still getting settled into the new studio here, if you will. So, all right, good job, Tony. There, we're going to get into the plays. I know everybody's ready to roll.
Ready to go. That's right.
Talk about Tony'sPicks.com, where you can get our premium plays each and every day. These are absolutely our best plays from our team of handicappers over at Tony'sPicks.com, including Pravi Sambamurti, who went 16-11 yesterday, high volume. Pravi's a lot like us, Mindy, I think, a high volume player, and you can't go 9-0 if you're making 3 picks. So good job, Pravi. Paul with the 2-0 day as well. We saw World Cup action yesterday, some dramatic action yesterday. So head on over to Tony'sPicks.com, click on the All Cappers tab to get signed up. You'll find all the cappers there, and you can also read their profiles and see their previous picks, just like I showed you with Tony. So, Mindy, what are you going to have today going on at Tony's Picks?
Well, of course, I'll be in the NFL and then college basketball. I have quite a few plays. I think I'm looking at about 13. It's sometimes hard to, not select a bunch with, big cards. There's just a lot that I like today. We'll also have a 3-pack in, you can see there, the NHL and in the NBA. So I got those locked and loaded. Still have to go ahead and put in packages for college basketball and for the NFL. Just kind of sometimes run out of time. I think, it's like 3 hours before a show should give me enough time, but sometimes it doesn't because I like to update all of my numbers in the morning. I kind of wait for those. A lot of those I don't get, the feed dumps until 7 a.m. So I'm scrambling here right before the show to get everything finalized.
Well, you have an NBA 3-point shot guaranteed 3-pack. You're
Yes.
14-5 in your last 19 plays in the NBA.
Okay.
I don't need to be a marketing whiz to tell everyone what to do right here. Also 3-0 in college football. It looks like you're ready for the bowl season here.
Right, ready to go.
So head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all of our premium pick packages. Remember, if you miss any of our plays and you want our plays from the morning steam, which are the plays from Mindy and I, the consensus plays, plus your contributions from the chat, you can purchase those over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can get them absolutely free by just watching our show every day or watching the replay. Mindy, yesterday, just a great turnout for the show, and I think we're going to do the same here today. So, again, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. 3-0 in the NBA yesterday, so let's get rolling on the show and see what we have. We'll start with the NFL, of course, with our 4 games that we have left ready to go. Everyone's ready. Everyone's commenting. Let's go.
Okay, we're going. Okay, fine.
I just want to mention a few more if I can, Mindy, before we go. Matt said Missouri, Kansas just blitzed. Doesn't it seem like sometimes we've seen that before with Missouri, Missouri, and then you play Kansas, and then forget about it, right?
Right. Right.
Matt also, Matt D. That's Matt T. And Matt D. talked about Army Navy a little bit more, and just saw the kid so distraught, and immediately his teammates come to the rescue and try to cheer him up. And you always want to sing last, Latifa. You always want to sing last at right. Army Navy. All right. Let's roll. We got 30 in here. That's awesome. 20 minutes of me just rambling. Nobody wants that. Let's get right to your team, Mindy, with the Chiefs and the Broncos. Well, we know who's going to win this game because the same team has won for over 6 years in a row.
So who was that exactly, Ramon?
Oh, that'd be the team with the arrow on their head.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, I mean, I find this game to be, interesting, right? I mean, I think on paper you kind of look at the Chiefs probably kind of running away with this, but we talk about this week in and week out that this Chiefs team for whatever reason doesn't quite have that killer instinct about them. Denver's been within 7 points, 4 out of their last 5 here. Their defense is ranked second. We know there are no slouches there. Hold their opponents to 17 points a game. Kansas City's only covered the spread 2 times this year. Okay, that's all I got to say. But I mean, I think the Broncos here, I think they're, going to cover this. It could be a little bit more than that, but I'm just saying they've only covered 2 in the last 5 games.
Yeah.
Denver, I think they're going to try to control the clock. I think they're going to do a lot of short passes here. Also, if I look at, the spread started at -6.5. It moved to 9. When it does go from 6.5 to a bigger spread, the road dog team has been a good cover team. So I'm going to take Denver plus 8.5, or I had it at 9 today.
Yeah, might be able to get some 9s out there. I think mostly 8.5. Curtis is with you here. He says take Denver. Denver's broke. I don't know what they're going to do. I think Matt D is saying under in this game, and that's going to be where I'm, of course, going to go as well. I don't. This is not the spot for me to trust Denver, despite the home dog trend you mentioned, the huge spread here. I think the dominance of the series might dictate we know it's extremely difficult for Denver to score right now. How does Baker Mayfield come in on? They basically
terrible defense. Okay, go ahead.
I think they got him off of Amazon Prime and brought him in on a one-day delivery and put up all those points, and Denver can't score that many points in any game. So
yeah, I mean, I have this one modeled out like 25-18. So that's a 7-point cover here by the Chiefs, which would put you at pretty close to an under, right?
Yeah, well, and again, 44
43-ish.
points looks like a high total, for a game involving Denver. So I am right in there. Hello to Dave today. I'm right there with KJiz. I'm going to be Chiefs and under in this one.
Okay.
27-10, 24-10, something like that. Chiefs, yeah, we have some questions about defense sometimes, but again, I mean, it's a lot of times when you're as effective as you are on offense and the defense gets out there, yeah, maybe the Chiefs don't have the names on defense that some of the top contenders do, but they don't, they get it done the way they get it done. So Scott says KC by 10 or so under as well. 10 is dangerous. I mean, obviously it's right there at the number. So I just think the 13 wins in a row is a big deal. And Dave is saying under. So I am on the under. Mindy's on Denver. I can't get with Mindy, so no consensus here. But looks like
also
we all
to the under based off of my predicted score too. So I have it coming in at like 43. So that would be an under game for everyone out there.
And you talk about Chiefs, point spread record. I mean, we all have our fans. We're not, saying Mindy's a homer or anything like that, but she's been right on going, quite often.
I mean, I'm still going to root for my Chiefs to win, of course, but covering the spread's a little bit different.
Yep. So, all right, I think we have a pretty decent consensus there. Not an official consensus, but obviously the Chiefs,
right.
They're not going to lose this game. I think they'll probably be very popular on teasers as well because you can take them below 3. They'll probably be the most popular teaser option on the board, I would think, in this game today.
A bold prediction, Matt. Bold prediction.
Yeah, well, they might because, obviously they'll have a different quarterback.
Different receivers.
Well, I would think the ownership group, Denver is if you can fix Denver, it's kind of, it's still going to be a good situation. They now have the ownership group, I think, there to fix things. It's just going to still take another, you know, going to have to repair the situation a little bit. But Denver will always be back. That's just, it's
Right.
like, it's almost can't miss when you're talking about Denver. I don't want to bring everything's about Deion Sanders, but like Colorado, right? I mean, it's just an awesome Boulder, Colorado is just so killer that if you can get the right circumstances, like when Colorado was in their heyday, right? Who to think that Colorado can be so great, such a great contending team like they were back in the day, but it's just because
Right.
it's an awesome situation when they're doing things. So great community, great state, Colorado. All right. All right, the Panthers and the Seahawks in this one, and I think it might be down to 3.5 now. Total 44.5.
Yeah, I thought I'd get my purple,
Yeah, you're
out
wearing.
today for the Panthers Seahawks game. Panthers here ranked 25th in scoring this year. Not too bad, 19 points a game. Their defense has been pretty decent over the last 3 weeks, giving up 12 points a game here too. Seahawks down to their third string running back now with Walker out. I think that really kind of hurts the running game here too. 3-week window, 75% under. 5-week window, about 60% under. I will be looking at the under here today, under 44.5.
All right, Mindy goes under in Carolina and Seattle. Ramon goes under in Carolina and Seattle. Carolina 4-8 to the under this year. Of course, Carolina, they're playing pretty well. They're getting numbers right now. And, maybe they can get this number here as well. Scotch, though, is on Seattle. I like how Scotch was talking about Colorado. It shows you, I don't know. I see him there in the photo. He might be younger than him, but he says the days of Mork and Mindy and sitting on top of the goalpost. That's really going back a ways. I'm sure half of our audience doesn't even remember that reference. But
yeah, Nanu. Yeah, I
after
do.
this game, we got Moni and Mindy up here.
That's right.
So-
Ramoni and Nindy. We could be, what is that, high school reunion? What is that? Romy and Michelle high school reunion? That's what it reminded me of.
So I'm going to go under with you, Mindy. I think Carolina, they're always playing pretty well. 6-3 as a dog, 5-1 ATS their last 6. And Seattle just 1-3 against the spread as a favorite. Getting 4 points. It's hard to go with Carolina, so let's just stick with the under here. Carolina and Seattle. Hey, look who's here.
Who dat?
Who Dat Nation. So obviously coming to us probably from Louisiana, or at least a big Saints fan. But he says big play on the 49 today by the half point. Is it on the
49ers is my guess. The next probably go over that one next.
Yep, let's do it. Let's
All
bring
right.
Goosey's comment up first of all, and welcome Goosey Who Dat Nation to the show, and welcome to Team Steam. We hope you'll be a member.
So what card is that on his? Is that a Tennessee player? I can't tell.
Oh boy, I cannot even. I think I can.
You have to let us know who it is. Tennessee running back, perhaps. On the profile pic. You have to help us out.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, but
okay, Kamara.
Oh, is it Alvin Kamara?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought when you said Tennessee, I was thinking about.
I couldn't tell because it looked orange.
Hendon Hooker yesterday in the Heisman Trophy. We didn't comment about the Heisman Trophy. I don't know if you want to mention anything on that at all before we talk about the next game between the Bucks and the 49. Well, let's just get into stay with the NFL here. Williams a junior. We'll talk about him plenty. Bucks and the 49ers. So Goosey says he wants to buy the half a point here with the 49ers. So they got that great defense, Mindy. The Bucks competitive, but they fail in so many situations like this. So 3.5, and the total has already dropped here to 37 today.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have this one. San Francisco 21, Tampa Bay 15. kind of where my modeling here plays out. So I will be taking San Francisco here minus the 3.5 points. I just really like that 49ers defense. I think they're just going to be able to get to this Tampa Bay team, especially when they've been, struggling to run the ball. It looks like if you just go ahead and put any sort of pressure on Brady right now, those receivers are not helping him out. They're all out on, go routes when no one's coming back to get him. So, I mean, I know that the 49ers have, these injuries on the offensive side of the ball. Not sure if that's going to matter here too much today with this defense. I'll take the 49ers. They're 5-1 against the spread the last 6 as well. I know that, we talked about, the quarterback issues, game number 2, they'll be able to scheme for him a little bit better, perhaps. But I think they have enough weapons here to get it done. I'll take the 49ers.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. And Goosey making his comments. Thank you. Appreciate that. Neat comment there about the card that you showed us, but also his play. And I don't mind. Certainly, we don't have the luxury here on the show buying the 0.5 point. I think it is worthy of doing it. Right. I think if I did go to the window, I'd probably do it. I might even buy a whole point because again, you're looking at a low-scoring game. Look at Scotch. He says he's on the under. Matt T says he's on the under. Ramon says he might be on the under, too.
I gave you a predicted score that might be the under.
And officially, we're going to go on San Francisco. I want San Francisco. I don't want to sit there with a hook, even with Tom, in a game where, man, Tom, it doesn't look like there's anything physically, unlike Russell, Stafford this year, whatever. Tom doesn't look physically like he has lost anything. It just for some reason they drop a lot of passes. They definitely drop a lot of passes.
Right. I mean, to me, it just looks like him and the receivers are, for whatever reason, not on the same page. And I always say they need to, pull the playback, the playbook from Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, and go out and do one-on-ones. I mean, he has a little bit of a connection with Evans. Other than that, you can see it when you watch the game. They're reading the defense wrong. Julio Jones is going inside. Brady's reading it to go outside. So it's just one of those things that it's, they're just not on the same page there for whatever reason with those receivers. I mean, they're big names. I mean, they should be able to be playing better than this. And I'm not sure why they're not.
Yeah, he still zips the ball.
I don't think it's a Tom Brady issue.
They talk about getting the ball out quickly. Tom gets the ball out quickly.
But his receivers aren't reading that.
Kevin says, what about Brady with the points? And again, I don't want to be on that side. I think Tampa's going to get attention, I think, at the window here. Tampa has gone under in 4 straight. San Francisco's covered 3 in a row now. And they've also, you mentioned their streak right now against the spread, also 5-1 against the spread against sub 500 teams. So it is tough, especially in a low scoring game. Laying a hook makes it a little bit difficult. I want the 49ers here. And I know you love when I say these things, Mindy, because sometimes I've been right. Sometimes more often I'm wrong, but it all makes sense. Let's watch the post-game handshake. Could Tom Brady be planting a seed to be the quarterback of the 49ers next year? Could he return home to the Bay Area to guide the 49ers, a team that might need they've got these quarterbacks. And we should probably talk a little bit about the quarterback situation, currently with the Niners going into this game, not meaning to slight at all, because I think that is kind of a big factor because, you think about Brock Purdy. I already said last week that I like Brock Purdy better than about 10 other quarterbacks in the league.
Right.
Right. But he's still very, very green. So and the Buccaneers do have a pretty decent defense. It just, to me, doesn't seem like.
I was agreeing with Blake. I was like Ramon and his conspiracy theories, right?
Yeah. Well, the other one, obviously I already said, Rodgers to the Raiders and Tom to the Niners. But again, you got Brock Purdy. They're not. Look, Jimmy G, too bad. It sucks. Hopefully, maybe he can even come back for the playoffs if Brock Purdy is more, it's because it's gonna be tough. We got to see what Brock Purdy can do. He looked
Right.
decent. He's still only played a game of football in the league, so that is very, very something. Very, very something to look at with Brock Purdy and this spread. So maybe that's why there's support. But to me, the defenses in this one tough. It's going to be tough to get that hook. But not sure if I want to be on the Bucks here. So, all right. Well, we're on another consensus play. That's cool.
We'll do it.
Yep. And again, I don't mind Brock Purdy. I mean, look, at Purdue, Brock Purdy looked like, I don't know, not the next Drew Brees necessarily, but he's not a huge guy out there, and he, definitely can zing it. All right, we'll talk about my team now, Mindy. The Chargers. Well, what can I say about this? Is the spread up to 3.5? No, but maybe there is some 3.5. Miami's definitely juiced on their 3. So you're going to have to – you're getting you might be getting even money with the Chargers at +3. The total is already up to 54.5 now. I get it. I mean, these offenses – everyone want to make fun of Tua for one game, right? There's no problem with Tua. Everybody said, he's the most accurate quarterback, and now look at him. He's the most accurate. He throws one of the best balls. It looks to me the eye test, right? I mean, if anything he's guilty of is being a little bit too confident in a way, too loose sometimes. Maybe he'll learn on that, but maybe he's a gunslinger too in a way. We talk about, Patrick's interceptions, but that's because he's going for it, man.
Right.
So this should be a wild game. The total's getting a little out of control now, though.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I mean, Dolphins here, dealing with injuries offensively. Chargers are still, struggling there, getting healthier day after day. Dolphins putting up an average of 24 points a game. Chargers 22. I mean, I think this one is going to come down. I think this is a Miami win by, say, 1 point. And I think the Chargers here are going to cover the spread. They are 6-1 against the spread the last 7. And also they're 13-3 against the spread the last 16 in a week 14 game here as well. So again, I have Miami here winning this by 1 or 2. So I'm taking Chargers on the points today.
Okay. And Blake says he likes McDaniel for coach of the year. It's I think I like Kevin O'Connell. I mean, I know everybody's making fun of the Vikings, but if they end up, 13-4 or something, or 12-5, I mean, I know everyone wants to bury the Vikings because they're the worst 10-2 team or whatever, and they're underdogs against the Lions today or whatever. But I don't know. But McDaniel, he does look pretty good. He looks like, but he doesn't look like the type of guy you want. He looks like he walked out of the nerd convention a little bit, right? I mean,
well, sure, but that doesn't mean he can't be, coach of the year.
No, he does a great job, but he looks more like what's that rapper? Logic. He looks like Logic, out there. But he's done a great job, and the Dolphins, obviously, you can contend, right? You can contend with.
Aren't we all sports nerds? I mean, really, come on, if we think about it.
Oh, yeah, no.
He's like, I'm a nerd. Well, yeah, we probably all are, sports nerds.
Yeah. And Matt says take the Chargers. Mindy's on the Chargers. And it's tough, Mindy, because this is the NFL, though. And even though when you say, a 3.5 point spread, and you're like, well, I do like the other team to win, but I like the other team to cover. And we're talking about 3.5 points. You're like, man, that's really, it's like threading the needle. But in the NFL, that's what you got to do. And the Chargers, a home dog roll, that's how I want them at home. I don't want to lay points with the Chargers ever. But as a dog, they seem to be way more live. So I'm going to end up going with the nerd here, with not with you. You're not a nerd, but with McDaniel, with the Dolphin, with no the Chargers. We're taking the Chargers. Just can't get that out of my head now that Blake said that. So, and Anthony says, Joseph Anthony, thank you for joining.
Yeah, so we finally got a comment after, Ramon shows how cool he is with pop culture. See?
Yeah, I had to really dig deep with that one. I don't know all the new music a little bit, but anyways, I'm going to go with Mindy here and take the Chargers +3. I think we could have had a hook earlier. We might even be able to get a hook later, and you can get a cheap hook actually on this game. I mean, that's one thing that's kind of people say, oh, never buy points in the NFL. Well, if you got a juiced up 3, you can get a pretty decent price at 3.5, maybe even as cheap as -120 or 125. You're always going to pay a little bit more to go on or off the 3. We know that, but here I think it's worth a look. But we don't have that luxury. But we'll take the Chargers. Give us 5 plays on Sunday, Mindy. Our 2 on Thursday's show for the early card, and 3 here on the late card with 3 home teams: the Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Chargers on NFL Sunday. Man, I could talk about NFL all morning long, right up until kickoff. And thanks for the chat. So looks like we're really in tune, everybody, with some of these games today. So I felt better about the afternoon games that we just talked about. Then maybe that's why we only came to a consensus on 2 out of 7 games, Mindy, on Thursday's show, but come together with 3 out of 4 here. And Casey Denver game, we're kind of agree, right?
Right on, yes.
So, all right, everybody. Hope that was enough NFL. What was Saquon? We wanted to get a status update maybe on Saquon.
I don't know.
Going in. So let me see if I have maybe some news at all. I don't know if you've seen anything. So
not yet.
Okay. Yeah, questionable is still what I'm showing. So yeah, I mean that's certainly something to note. Well, we did take a play in that game, Mindy, in Philadelphia and the Giants, and I was leaning Giants, but do want to make sure on the Barkley status, and I haven't necessarily checked the tweets here. I think from Adam Schefter or anything, but now let's see if we can get anything more.
Yeah, that's what I said. I haven't really looked yet. That wasn't on my agenda to-do list this morning yet. So, because I didn't put my plays in.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I just don't think there's enough. I don't think we're really seeing anything yet from any of the reporters on his status. So, yeah, no, just not seeing anything. Running through my tweet deck. So, all right, let's move on. Let's go to the NBA.
Cool.
Blake says he's got enough. He thinks it's a major injury if Barkley is out. I don't mean a major. I just say he's definitely lay the touchdown with the Eagles there. The fact that the spread is still 7 to me, I don't think. I think he's an impact player that does affect the spread by possibly 1 or more points. So, okay. Let's get to the NBA. I'm excited about the NBA after.
After an 8-0 day, I think you're seeing the card pretty well, Ramon.
Just go back to the show. I don't make this stuff up. Didn't have any premiums yesterday. I hardly had any premiums at all. I'm still getting situated here in Vegas, but I'm going to come in with some today for sure.
Right.
Get right to the card. Started off with the Suns and the Pelicans. Booker questionable for the Suns, Ingram out for New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had a split with this one. It was kind of tough for me, but I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with the Suns and the 3 here. Again, I do a couple of different scoring models. It didn't quite pass the test on both, so my free pick will be on the Suns. They're putting up an average of 116 per game here, while the Pelicans 117. Suns shoot better from, right now, the free throw line, 3-point line. Have covered in 6 games now versus the Pelicans off a loss. Also, I'll take them.
Curtis, he's the emoji king. He's at Suns with the dub, and I know Curtis is no spring chicken. I can see his picture there, so he must be really popular with his family on his texting, because he does a great job with these. I can barely put the emojis on my picks like they like you to do here on the site when we promote the picks. So. Mindy, Phoenix 3-1 against the spread as a dog. 4-0 to the over in those games. I'll mention Cages likes the Suns as well. I was kind of thinking the other way. He says the Zion theatrics may play a role. I didn't have a problem with the
big dunk. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I didn't have a problem with what went on there, if that's what he's kind of referring to as well, because Zion's a player, and he's never going to stop playing no matter what the score or situation is. So if that's what he's talking about, that I don't even think it's an incident. It was just something that got the Suns ire, right, if I'm not mistaken. So Phoenix 4-7 straight up on the road. New Orleans 11-3 straight up at home. Come on, you guys. New Orleans is a very, very good team. Suns definitely good as well. The Pelicans, I really like this team. I'm going to go under, though, Mindy. I'm going to go under in this game with Phoenix and New Orleans today. The widely reported steam has already come in on the under in this game, although the bookmakers didn't respond to it too heavily. But I'm going to go under. Mindy's on Phoenix.
Okay.
Kings and Knicks here. I'm showing the Knicks a 2.5-point favorite. The total 231.5.
Yeah, I mean, this Knicks team has won 3 in a row, scoring 108 over those last 3. Kings 2 out of their last 3, putting up 109 during that span. Knicks here 4-1-1 against the spread the last 6. I'm going to take the Knicks at home +3.
Yeah, Goosey talking about, just touching back on that last game. I don't really like to overlap the games too much, but yeah, did that breakaway dunk. But again, I no problem with anything. Zion is a superstar in the league. So, all right, everybody's still talking about that. So I kind of caught everybody's attention with that a little bit. So. We get caught up. Let me get back to the Kings and the Knicks. Mindy, go. I'm sorry. What was your selection?
Yeah, so I took the Knicks. I had them at +3. Looks like, -3. So it looks like or I think I had the Knicks at +3, right?
They're favored.
The Knicks are favored. Okay,
Yeah.
so I just wrote it down wrong. So I will be taking the Knicks.
Okay.
-3.
Cages says the Knicks have covered 4 last 5 meetings. De'Aaron Fox definitely questionable in this game, so that does have me worried a little bit, because I kind of like the Kings in this one. They're 8-4 against the spread on the road. The Knicks are just 4-7-2 against the spread at home, and just 6-7 straight up at home. Scotch says he likes the over in this game. I couldn't even find a way to get on the total. It does seem a little bit high to me. So I think that's probably the direction I'm going to end up going, is on the under, actually. I don't want to – Scotch and I are usually right on the same page here. But, man, I'm not so sure. And I don't necessarily want to disagree with Mindy. But I'm gonna end up going under in this game with Sacramento and the Knicks. Again, man, these injuries with the NBA. Fox is a little bit more. He's not a guy that is taking days off. He's just had some ailments of late, and we know he's been kind of on and off with his injuries right now. So I'm just going to take under in this one. I'm almost leaning to the Kings maybe for a premium. I'm not sure. It might be a situation where I'm waiting for the Fox status. So Cages says he likes the over in the Knicks Sacramento game. So, all right. Don't go against a guy who's 8-0 yesterday, you guys. What do you know? Probably go 0-6 today. Okay. Nobody says that. Don't say things like that, Tony would say.
Right.
Okay. The Raptors and the Magic here in this one. I'm showing the Raptors are 7. The total is 222.5. There's not much movement here, and these lines are about 90 minutes old.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been on the Magic a lot. We keep talking about it, but they do outshoot the Raptors. 46% from the floor compared to 44. They're 4-1-1 against the spread their last 6 following a straight up win. I'll be on the Magic again at home, +7 versus Raptors.
Well, Mindy's going to be on the Magic, and I'm going to be off the Raptors. So that puts us on the Magic. What's wrong with this Toronto team on the road? They're just a shell of themselves, or they're just much better at home. Orlando 9-6 against the spread at home. Toronto 5-8 against the spread on the road. Toronto 11-3 against the spread last 14 meetings. I don't care. I want the Magic and the points at home and in this one, getting 7 points at home. Looks like Curtis is on the under in this game. And Curtis, I totally agree with you there. But let's get a premium consensus pick on this one. And
right.
go with Orlando here in this one. Hey, Bobby Smith is joining us. Might be for the first time. Thanks a lot, Bob. Nice to have you here, Bobby. All right. Matt T's with us. Seaver looks like he's going against us, though. So it looks like
he's
a little bit
unmagic. No magic today for the Magic.
Here comes Cages. So a little bit of disagreement in the chat, but Mindy and I are locked in together, I think, on this one. And Scotch also says Magic with those points. That's a lot of points, man. That's 7 points with an Orlando team that, look, they've got one of the hot young players in the league. There's no doubt about that. He's a star. He's a star, and just hasn't, he missed some games and, maybe he hasn't been on national TV yet and all that. I think we all know what Pablo can do. I mean, he's already putting the numbers up. Doesn't, there's no question about that. So, all right. We're on a premium there, consensus premium.
Right, let's get it done, Ramon.
Hornets and the Sixers here. And the Sixers, you're going to be favored by 10.5 points. This one's gone down to 220.5.
Yeah, I mean, 76ers putting up 110, Hornets 109 points per game here on average. Hornets here, they, out rebound the 76ers. 6th in the NBA compared to 29th. I know we've been kind of talking about that here as of late. Some of these teams try to play a little bit of defense, but most of the NBA has kind of gone away from it. Hornets are 4-0-1 against the spread in their last 5 following an ATS loss. They're also 4-0 in their last 4 Sunday games. And it's Sunday, Ramon. I'm going to take the Hornets here, plus 10.5.
Yeah, I'll be on this with you. I'm always willing to take 10.5 points with just about anybody in the league. Maybe even San Antonio. We saw what the Spurs did yesterday. This is a crazy league, right? So Curtis is on with us. He says Hornets cover. I'm going to be on the Hornets. They're 6-3-1. Against the spread last 10 games. Yeah, Philadelphia does a pretty nice job at home covering numbers, but you got to get double digits here in Charlotte. 4-1-1 against the spread last 6 meetings. You talk about defense being optional, but look at the move in this game. The reported steam, the widely reported steam came in on the over, but all of a sudden it's dropped. So I think it's a pretty significant move to the under off of a high of 223. I think it might end up being not a low scoring game. I mean, it's still going to be, likely in the 210s. So Scott says Sixers blowing those leads, right? Are they the team that's been blowing the double digit leads at halftime? I'm not trying to remember, but Anyways, let's take Charlotte for another consensus play. Take 10.5 points with the Hornets. We've got support in the chat from Curtis,
for sure.
from Dave, from Scotch. Let's do it. All right, Lakers and the Pistons. This takes me back to my youth when these two teams meet, when these two teams were battling for championships. Not so much the case now, but still, you have Lakers. Big move here. It's actually back to 5.5. It opened 6.5, went back down to 4.5, probably back to 5.5 because it does look like that the Lakers stars will be playing in this game. AD is feeling better, so LeBron's feeling better. Kind of weird how when they miss some games, they are both off at the same time. And maybe that is a kind of the best spot if they why have one of our guys play and lose and then they'll both be tired. I don't know. Curtis says take Detroit. What does Mindy say?
Well, I'm always like, oh, the Lakers are playing again today. Oh goodness. But I run this for my modeling. I get kind of a split decision here, with this game today. But I'm going to be on the Pistons here as well with the plus points at home. They do outshoot the Lakers right now, 34-31 from 3-point range. Also just shooting the ball just better all around. Pistons 4-0 in their last 4 home games versus a team with a road winning percentage less than 400. They're also 6-1-3 in their last 10 on 1 day's rest here as well. I'll take the Pistons.
Yeah, I don't want to necessarily. Scotch has been good to us. He says Pistons are terrible. They're pretty bad, but they are 6-2-2 against the spread in their last 10 games, and the Lakers just 4-9 against the spread on the road. This line may continue to go up a little bit. I'd say if you're going to be on the Pistons, that maybe to wait here. Seaver says he does not want to even watch the Pistons.
That's what I said. Oh, the Lakers.
If Cunningham was playing, I mean, are you a believer in Cunningham? Where do you put him? Is he an all-star? Is he a good young player? Does he still have to prove something to you? I know he's out, so it's not even an issue. But and the Pistons are bad. But could he make a difference?
Good old Cade Cunningham. Well, I mean, I think of it more as like, last year listening, to Tony a lot, talk about that backcourt. He's really a fan, and I think he might have a little bit better eye for the game than I do regarding that young talent. You know what I mean? So I respect, Tony's decision a lot, saying that, yeah, I think he is one of the better, players right now, can get to that all-star status. But it's one of those, like, you're playing on a crappy team. So, sometimes that does happen. But again, if they can get some talent to surround him with, I think he'll be okay.
Well, Bobby Smith said he already going to take those first 2 plays that we gave. He's looking for a 3-team parlay. Look, the chat is all over the Lakers in this one. There's no doubt about it. But Mindy and I are going to be together on the Pistons. I don't like the Lakers covering. I know they're playing better. This is a road trip still. It's a Sunday game. I know the Pistons are bad. I get it, you guys. I get it. There's no doubt about it. But again, they have been covering numbers, and I like them to get this number here. I'm going to go against the chat. Pistons 8-4 to the over at home. Here's the thing. I want, Bobby's playing a parlay. If this is the 3 games that we end up with, I'd say, Bobby, if you want to roll with us, this is the 3rd team. But let's see what we got in the next 2 games. Maybe because this is Team Steam. And yes, Mindy and I made the final call. We're going against everybody here. Tomorrow, we kind of tease, and we're missing Ron Hahn to come in and defend himself for the loss. But I mean, no problem. But everybody can come in tomorrow and
harass us.
Right. Say the chat was right. We do have Matt T with us, so I don't know if it's too I don't know if it's too easy though, man. I mean, again, Lakers 4-9 on the road against the spread. Now, they were without their stars in some of those games, but it's almost like I'd almost be willing. Say those 2 guys were out, say the stars were out for the Lakers and the line was like, because I don't know what it would be without, it would be a pick 'em. Would it be a pick 'em? Probably. I don't. It would have to be at least a pick 'em, right? And if it were, I would almost rather have the Lakers against the spread without the two. Now, I'm not talking about playing without AD and LeBron and you're going to win a game. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about here. But against the spread, it just changes the dynamic. So it's almost like I'd rather bet on the Lakers without the two stars in a pick'em game on the road against the Pistons rather than laying points with the two stars that, they pace themselves a little bit, right? I mean, this isn't a game that's going to get you all fired up. Oh, we're going to go out and smash the Pistons today. We're on a road trip here, an eastern swing. It's a very difficult, for anybody. And these guys, and LeBron, he's in great physical shape. Come on, it's more of a mental game with LeBron, and
spends $1 million on his body a year.
Your mind takes games off. It's not so much the fatigue physically. Sometimes it is the fatigue mentally, right? I mean, look, to me, and Matt says Lakers win by 3. Right, that's a big number, you guys. That's 5.5. It just doesn't sound like a lot. It's a big number, but again, the Lakers are in a situation. They've worked themselves back into playoff contention, right? And they only need this team only needs to get in. Quite honestly, I mean, they're not going to do any damage in the playoff. They probably aren't going to beat any of those teams. But all LeBron wants is a chance. And if you get in and win one game, then you got the home court advantage right back. So it's really, and you only got, you only have to win. Now they're going to win, 4 series, obviously, to get all the way to the title. But the first series, you win one game, you got home court edge. Find a way to get it through there. You win one game in the second, you've got home court back. So
you're right.
And you could give it away just as easy. So in the NBA, it's just about getting in for some of these teams. Look, younger teams that can go out and perform great and run up these great they need home court advantage actually against teams like the Lakers that have all those veterans and everything that can, stun you. And again, Lakers aren't going to do any damage in the postseason, but they know they just need to get in. Okay, so we've got 3 plays so far. Let's take a look at the Bulls and the Hawks. Scott, yeah, right. The game in Philly there. Okay, let's take a look at Chicago. They are a 3-point dog now. The total has gone way up in this one, Mindy, just in the last not even 2 hours. It's up to 233. We had someone talking about the Bulls. Pardon me for not remembering. Maybe I'll scroll back, but you're going to talk about it. I want to be ready. But talked about the Bulls.
Yeah, I mean that almost puts. I'm gonna star that one. I'm like that one almost puts me on a premium right there. Woo, crazy. But yeah, I mean we were kind of talking about fading the Bulls here, kind of laughing about it. Initially because they had that big win there yesterday, but then of course they do have to kind of deal with this, fatigue factor on the second of the back-to-back here. So I think that's going to allow the Hawks to put a little bit of pressure here. I don't know. Trae Young looks like he's probably going to have another big night here. Just put up like a 33 spot on the Nets. Hawks are 3-1 against the spread versus the Bulls at home since 2020 here. I think the Hawks will go ahead and win and cover today.
Okay, well, we know looks like Murray's going to be out for Atlanta. I don't know if people, consider him a major player. 20 points. I mean, that's, anybody, 20 points. I mean, I consider that a somewhat of an impact player. So,
well, we're going back. We unfaded the Bulls. Now we're fading the Bulls. All right. I'm fading the Bulls today.
Yeah, I think a little bit of half the chat maybe, but Blake says he likes the Hawks here as well. So Scotch likes the Hawks. I don't know. I was kind of leaning to the Bulls. They're just so bad on the road though. 4-9 straight up on the road. Atlanta 8-5 straight up at home. But I don't know. I was kind of going to give the Bulls a shot because Atlanta they don't seem to play very well. They don't. they're 1-5 against the spread off of a spread win right now. They don't seem to be able to extend any long winning streaks. They're pretty inconsistent. So, but look, I get the move, but the question for me is, and again, maybe you think about the back to back, you think, will that affect you on defense? But where does this move necessarily come from to move 5 points on a total? I mean, did
On a
bookmakers,
1 day scoring 144.
right? And did bookmakers really just wake up and yeah, we've seen steady moves, but this was a big move. So I'm with Cages. He sees it
Yes,
exactly the way I do.
I
Just
said.
few on the spread. You're missing a 20-point score from the game. Yes, the Bulls they appropriately play Matador defense. We know that. So I'm going to go under though this big number in this game. I think
Well, that's
to
what I'm
me,
saying. Like I had that one already, right? Like a 3 point under, and now I'm getting another three. So I got like three baskets under. Hey, I like that.
okay, and I hope sometimes when our chat's special, so I like the fact that they're all agreeing with me on the under or have their own opinion. But again, it's kind of like if I'm on the under and I hear a bunch of uh, randos talking about the under, I'm like, oh, but it's our chat, so I'm going to respect it and say I got the right side here on the
I think so.
under. I'm coming off the 8-0 day, so if
That's
they agree
right.
with me, we've got to be right. Mindy though says take Atlanta, lay the points. I say go under. All right. Let's see if we can. And
Yeah,
Seaver, I think he's
that's what I said.
saying,
I think once that line moved like that, yeah.
yeah. And again, I mean, I'm a steam chaser. I'll make it point blank. I'm a guy that
Right.
sports books don't like because I will a lot of times come in. But again, I'm a late steam kind of guy, so. Curtis says
Seems
just blindly go under in every game, and I would say
good.
I would agree. I mean, I would almost agree. The only game that I think I have underpinned in every game, and there's going to be some premiums on unders in here, so freebies for you guys.
Yeah.
But the only game that I think has a chance to go over has the best chance to go over is the Lakers and the Pistons game. The other ones I'm agreeing with Curtis.
I kind of like the 76ers to go over.
Okay. Okay. I'm under there
You are
probably as
on
well.
that. Yeah.
Again, the thing that's probably going to keep me off a premium there would be the near 3 point move to the under, and that still could make my card. I kind of liked it that much. I was just disappointed. So, but good comment from Curtis there. I agree wholeheartedly, except for Lakers Pistons. And Mindy said watch out for the Bulls game, but maybe look at unders tonight. We'll see tomorrow. We'll come in tomorrow. All right. Here's the Bucks on the road. They're favored by double digits. Now the Rockets are terrible. This total has totally dropped. So I did like it under as well, and probably will keep me off a premium here with this 3.5 point move to the under. Mindy, Bucks 10 to 26.5.
Okay, yeah, that one really moved, didn't it? Bucks won their last one against the Mavs by 106-105. Bucks here putting up 113 a game. Rockets 111. Oh geez, the Rockets are 4-0 against the spread in the last 4 home games, 5-1 against the spread the last 6 games following that straight up loss. Oh geez, I gotta take the Rockets here again, plus 10.
Yeah, sorry, Scotch. I get it. I mean, um, Milwaukee, they're dynamite, right? But here it's 10 points, man. I mean, against a Houston team, again, I mean, are these guys going to wake up and granted, I don't know how you want to look at Middleton so far in his return, but do you think like, oh well, they could use a few games together? He's good, of course. He's a great player, and you know, um, maybe you'd say, hey, that's going to make Milwaukee a lot better. They have to get the chemistry together still. I don't know if that's the case. That's just a talking point, but. Uh, Curtis obviously coming in on the under. I do like the under as well, but pretty big move there. But I'm going to agree with Mindy. I'm sorry, Scotch. Uh, you're right more often than not. That's proven in this chat. But again, yeah, maybe not covering of late. And again, you mentioned it, Mindy. Houston, they've covered 4 straight at home. Milwaukee, they don't score as much on the road, right? That's what your numbers kind of say, I think there. I mean, they are 1-9 to the under on the road. So I would imagine that it's a matter of production, not a matter of turning up the heat on defense on the road, right? Where it is tougher to play a little bit of, tougher to play defense on the road, supposedly. So Houston also 5-1 against the spread off of a straight up loss last 6 occurrences. So we know they don't win very much, but they sure bounce back and at least come up with a good effort and cover the spread. The Rockets, they're probably one of the 3 worst teams in the league, but Mindy and I are on them right here with 10 points against Milwaukee. So Scotch says he thinks that Houston's been on a little bit of a ride. Yeah, maybe that is indeed the case. But man, when you're bad, it's hard to come back down to earth. So thanks, Scotch. So you, like I said, I'm sure if we went back and looked at the comments of all the picks, you're right up there among the top in the chat. So, okay, that's a look at the NBA. Coming back down to made me think. Yeah, one of the Navy helmets yesterday. That said NASA. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
And Cages says he'd lean Bucks. He's with Scotch. Okay, no, I get it. And there's no doubt the Bucks can go out there, and if they really tried, if they wanted to, if they go out there and say, "Man, let's get this tonight. Let's beat the Rockets by 20." If you guys think that they can just go out there and put it on cruise control and beat them by, a dozen points or more, I respect that. But if you think that they're going out there and saying, "We're all fired up to beat these Rockets. We're going to kill the Rockets," because that's not the way I see it. If they do it, like you guys say, it will strictly be on the fact that they do have superior talent. There's no doubt about that. If somehow the Rockets were in a playoff game against the Bucks, which wouldn't happen, they're not in the same conference. But I'm just saying, the Rockets were decent enough to get there and be a number 50 seed, basically the last team or something like that. Because the NBA, they might, like I said, next year they're going to start doing. I believe they'll start doing those in-season tournaments a little bit too. But they may end up doing away with the conferences in the future, and going to a format that allows East team to play East team in the final or something like that. So, but if it were a total intensity game, the Bucks would come out and steamroll these guys, no doubt about it. I'm just, again, Mindy and I's job and your guys' job is to, I always say, play the human algorithm, right? Can we go out there and beat this crummy team on a Sunday by a dozen points? So, all right, let's get into college basketball. Mindy with some pretty good Sunday card here. Take a look at Oklahoma State and Virginia Tech. This one is in, where are we going on the map? Right? I mean, because these right, because these like I said, there were like a dozen games out here in Vegas yesterday. This one's in Brooklyn, okay? Because when I think of Oklahoma State and Virginia Tech getting together, I think, why not go to Brooklyn and play this game? Showing in this one, it's going to be a very closely rated game. Virginia Tech is up to a 2.5-point favorite. The total 133.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hit the under here in this game here. The Hokies here 5-1 in their last 6 overall to the under. 12-2 Cowboys last 14 games following a straight up win. I actually have this one, modeled around a 131, so it's close for me, but I'm going to lean, to the under here.
Yeah, I mean, especially right with that that significant move, I guess, right? I think that's the way you kind of got to look at that. That's a pretty stiff move to the under, and a bit of a stiff move to Virginia Tech as well. I can see where people are coming in necessarily here, and here's Curtis with a play in the game. He's likes the over in the game. He's kind of going against you here, and if I had to choose between Curtis and Mindy here, I might be going with Curtis, but I don't know if I can I don't want to go, I don't feel that strongly on the total in this one.
Right.
Pages says he agrees with Mindy. He likes the under. He also likes Virginia Tech, however. So I think that this increased price is the way I'm looking at it. I'm going to end up going on Oklahoma State. The widely reported steam has come in on Virginia Tech. I think that's why you see this move to 2.5. I'm going to take the Cowboys here. Mindy's on the under to get us rolling. Thank you for your comments, everybody. And just to go off the board a little bit here, Mindy. Just want to point out, I think Cage is at a play here with Youngstown State going up against Ohio. He does have a play for us. He says go under 146.
Over.
That one opened 147, now down to 146. So
He said go over, Ramon. Over.
Oh, thank you. You're getting okay. Don't want to. Speaks for itself. It's right there on the screen.
Just in case people are listening audibly.
Thank you. Great point. Don't forget to listen to us on all the platforms. If you are, shout out to you right now. Thank you very much as well. So join us on YouTube sometime in the chat so you can be part of our conversation. Cages does say take over. So just a little bit off the board here from what we were covering, but he does take the over in this game. And I don't know, Mindy, I may have already pinned that as a premium. I don't know. All right. Marquette and Notre Dame in this one. And I'm showing right now that Marquette is 1.5, total 145.
Oh, geez. I have this one just ticking, to the over as well, right? I'm like literally sitting at 144 to 148 is my range. Having a hard time coming up with this side. I also come up with a split between Marquette based off of averages, rolling averages, and such. How I take a look at it, I have a split on the side. So I'm going to go ahead. I got more juice here to the over. It's 4-0 in the Golden Eagles last 4-0 following an against the spread loss. Also 4-0 Notre Dame's last 4 versus a team with a winning record here. Again, like I said, this one's really close for me. It's one of those, like, if I didn't have to make a play, I'd probably just pass, right? But my play is going to be here to the over. Like I said, I sit like basically right on that total and a little above.
All right, Mindy's on the over here with Marquette and Notre Dame. The widely reported steam did come in on the under, but it has come back a little bit to the over here. I mean, this one opened as high as 147. Now we see this number currently at 145. I'm going to take Notre Dame in this one at home against Marquette here, Mindy. For me, Notre Dame, they've been, not great at home, no doubt about it, but they are against the spread, I should say. I mean, they're 7-1 at home, but they're not getting any numbers. Here, they're getting the points.
Right.
So that's why I kind of like Notre Dame. Marquette doing a great job. They are 7-3 straight up. They did lose their only true road game so far. So I'll be on Notre Dame here. Mindy is on the over in Marquette and Notre Dame. All right, Mindy, I think next up is I think this is the marquee matchup of the day. You think so? I think so.
I'd say so, yeah.
A couple of ranked teams here. They're playing in Brooklyn because, Tennessee and Maryland have got to play in Brooklyn. At least Maryland's a little bit closer. So in this one currently, I'm showing that it is Maryland. Tennessee is down to a 5.5-point favorite, and the total is up to 134, and that's within the last 2 hours.
So what did that start out at, Ramon, that over-under? You said 132?
I would say that 132. Let me
yeah, because that's kind of what I had it at when I went ahead and based my numbers.
I'd say that was the low number. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I had like 132, I basically have this landing on about 132, 133. So again, I'm going to go ahead and tick to the over. It's 4-0 Maryland's last 4 neutral site games here, over 5-1. The Volunteers last 6, following that, less than 50 points scored in the previous game. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lean to the over. Again, these games have been a little bit tough for me to handicap. I'm coming up with a lot of splits. So again, I'm going to see where my number lies, and I'm going to go ahead and tick to the over in this one.
All right, and Curtis is going to agree with you here. Hey, look who's joining us here. I think maybe for the first
I
time.
think so. Nice.
Wayne Moran. He likes Tennessee all day. Wayne, Tennessee laying that number. Is that okay with you? You're willing to lay this 5.5 points on the road? Nice to have you here, Wayne. Please be a part of our team Steam here. So thank you so much. We welcome your picks as well. Cages says go over in this neutral site game. So you know what? If Wayne's coming in and he's going to say take Tennessee all day, and Blake also says take Tennessee, I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Right.
I like Tennessee in this game. Maryland, doing a pretty good job against the spread, but those have mostly been at home so far. And Tennessee's 6-3 against the number as a favorite. I think Tennessee might be a little bit underrated right now. I don't think Maryland's necessarily overrated. The only thing that gets me on your total, Mindy, that maybe keeps me off a bit is the fact that the teams are a combined 6-12 to the under so far. So, Wayne says we play slow on the road. So, yeah, I'm one of those that call neutral site games road teams for both teams in a way, right? I mean, it doesn't necessarily affect the spread as much as it does the total, I think, when you're talking about that, because in the spread, you're not going to put the home court advantage into your handicap. But as far as the total is concerned, you can, kind of just look to way teams play away from home and their opponent, of course. So I'm going to take Tennessee. I'm going to lay these points here in a neutral site game. And Mindy says go over. All right, Mindy, let's try to come to a consensus here.
What we can do.
Oregon State and Texas A&M. And this one I'm showing currently, A&M is now a 14.5 point favorite, total 136.
So again, I'm looking at the total. Heading over, I have this one modeled out 142, 143. So like this play a little bit better than my previous ones here. Over 11-1 in the Beavers' last 12 Saturday games. Over 4-0, Aggies' last 4 home games. Over 4-0, Aggies' last 6 here overall. So I'll be taking the over here, Ramon.
All right, Mindy says go over Oregon State, Texas A&M. I see some comments about another game on the added board, and I think we can maybe talk about that. We'll add our 2 cents. I think maybe we can get those comments in at the end, see if you have anything about that. Latifah's coming in with a college play here.
What?
And she likes A&M. She likes A&M. She says she's willing to lay these big points here with A&M in this game. So I don't know. I thought maybe it was too many points. Look, Oregon State, they are 4-0 against the spread as a dog, and that kind of caught my eye. So it worries me because we never hear from Latifah and Hoop, and now here she comes with a play, and I was going to go on
Oregon State.
Oregon State. You said you had the total.
Yeah, I took the over again.
Over in this one. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go Oregon State. Sorry, Latifah. You burned me yesterday in the football game. I'm going to just take these points. So they're getting the number here. They're covering spreads. I don't know. A&M is all that right now. A&M did take the widely reported steam, no doubt about it. A&M also 5-1 to the over at home so far, Mindy. So gotta support you there, but. Again, let me see. Did I correct that to 136? It was as high as 137.5 and as low as 135.
Challenge.
So you're getting a pretty decent number there. And Cages came in with, I can play this one here. He says he even might take an Oregon State money line play, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. So I think I'll show some of those parlays. Seaver put some of that up maybe at the end of the show when we run through the people that joined us. Maybe we'll do that. So we stay on focus here with what we need to do to make videos.
Right.
Seton Hall and Rutgers here. Rutgers taking money today, overnight, I should say, but it's down to 8 now. It was 7, went up to 9. It's back to 8. Total, though, has gone up. Opened as low maybe as 129 and is now 131.
Yeah, so now I kind of found a side that I like after running off all those over-unders here. I'm going to be taking the Seton Hall Pirates today, 6-1 the last 7. 6-1 in the last 7 underdogs. On the road team is also 20-7. Seton Hall averaging 71.6 points a game here. They also only allow like 63 points a game on defense. I'm going to go ahead and take Seton Hall +8 here in this one.
All right, Mindy says take Seton Hall. Let me get this straight. Okay, so you got two New Jersey teams. Curtis does say take the under in this one as it continues to go up. So I think that's a pretty sound play there. I don't know if I didn't even necessarily have an opinion. You sound like me today, Mindy, with all these totals. But so you're saying that two, I don't call them rivals, but they played 27 times, and the underdog in those games,
The road team, yep,
the road team,
is 20-7.
20-7 against the spread.
Yeah.
Okay. That's almost good. I mean, when you're talking long term, I mean, because in college basketball, right, we say, oh, well, I mean, there's new personnel every 2 and 3 years, but I don't see it that way necessarily when you're talking about a yearly rivalry, a yearly series, right? I mean, there are certain factors, because to me, when you talk about programs like this, they're not stellar, right? I mean, Seton Hall's glory days are long gone. They're just the same kind of teams year after year. Yeah, some ups, some downs, but you kind of recruit the same players, right? You kind of have the same philosophies. Yes, maybe coaching turnover a little bit, but I gotta agree with you here. Let's take Seton Hall in this one. Maybe the numbers kind of favor Rutgers so far, but this is a pretty kind of a big number. The widely reported steam did come in on Rutgers here. Curtis, we already talked about it under. Let's go Seton Hall though. Let's get a premium going in this one. Premium consensus here. Seton Hall plus the points. 27 in this series. The road team is covered. So, and probably an underdog, I would guess, in most of those.
In most cases, yeah.
Yeah, because it's just the same teams over and over again. I wouldn't be surprised if that, it's been road underdog almost every time with the same type of, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 points, whatever. All right, let's go to Mindy Country here for the Big Ten matchup between Wisconsin and Iowa. In this one, Mindy, right now Iowa is down to a 4-point favorite, and the total is 135.5.
Oh, 135.5, huh? So I even got a couple more points. I was actually looking at the over here in this one. Have the one modeled out.
Like a 3-point drop.
I know. So I liked it at my modeling has at 140, 141. Overs 4-1 the Badgers' last 5 games. Over 11-5 the last 16 here. Following in against the spread win. Over is also 19-9-1. Hawkeyes' last 29 home games. I'm going to go ahead and take the over. I have this one a split on my model regarding who's winning this game via the points.
Okay. Well, what do you mind sharing here? Because this one opened as high as Iowa -6.5. Would that have changed at least a lean for you?
Oh, you want me to go look? I'll look if you
Well,
want.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I can't remember all of the plays, so
Okay.
I have it here available, so I can just go ahead and take a look.
Curtis is going against John the total. He likes this one to go under, but again, he's not getting the best of the number. Mindy is in this case.
So it makes maybe a little bit of difference here. Because I have in one model, right? I have Iowa winning by 7, And the other model, I have Iowa winning by 3. So it does make a little bit of a difference. Maybe if you could get that 6.5 to 7, maybe that kind of leans, with Wisconsin. But again, it's really close for me.
I'll take the Hawkeyes on the move.
Yeah.
I think at 4 points, they are, what are they, 5-0 against spread at home. So I know Wisconsin's done a great job covering numbers too this season, right? 7-2 so far. Iowa's gone under in 5 straight. So Curtis has got that going for him, going against Mindy there. But I'll take Iowa. I'll lay 4 points. Mindy says go over in Wisconsin and Iowa.
Yeah, so I have Iowa winning by 3 and Iowa winning by 7. So it's close. And if it's that close, that's something I'm, not real comfortable with making a play. So yeah, there you go. So Iowa, I guess.
Well, I'll go with Iowa. You go with the total. All right. Mississippi State and Minnesota. Mississippi State, they are an 8-point favorite here. It opened around 7. Total is now 125.5, up 1.5.
All right, so I'm going to round out the pack here with another total. I'm going ahead and take a look at this one to the over. I know there has been quite a few under trends, but taking the over because Minnesota just they allow 82 points on average here. Their last 3 rolling average, so that basically, man, I mean, that when, that number alone will tick them over the total. If they allow anything close between 69 and 82 points, that leans this one over here for me. They both shoot at about 43%. So I think in this sense, they should each be able to get to that 62 number here. Again, so 62 is way less than their rolling average that they've been performing at. So I have them going over the total. Like 129, 135 is my range.
All right, and Curtis agrees with you. He likes the over in this game. For me, I'll take Minnesota. They've taken the widely reported steam here today, despite the fact that the spread has now gone up a little bit. So it hasn't really affected the bookmakers' attitude necessarily. Also, steam was reported over in this game for the move. But I'll go with Minnesota today, getting these points at home. Look, I mean, Minnesota, they've only covered 2 of 6 home games so far, but Mississippi State's 0-3-1 in their last 4 games against the spread. Teams are combined to go 4-13 to the under this season, so I can't get with you on that one. I will take Minnesota plus these baskets at home, and let's do it right now. Go back and take a look, maybe if you have. First, let's bring up Seaver's parlay here, I believe, or at least his 3 plays. And it's good to have Seaver back today. He's got Maine minus a point, it looks like here. He also likes Indiana State. They're playing Southern Indiana. Indiana State is minus 6.5. And he also likes Iowa State today. And let's see what their current line is in this one. Oh, Mindy, help. I'm going to have to. Iowa State, minus 26. Yeah, they're minus 26 playing McNeese today on the added board. So, okay. And then there was the one game we were talking about with Maine, I believe. Someone came in with a comment there on Maine.
And can I pass on that one today?
Huh? Oh, wait, well, he was on Maine, and then there was one other comment on Maine. So I didn't know if you had any opinion or comment.
I do, but it's super secret, Ramon.
Oh, it's one of those type of games. Okay. Well, then let's not talk about too much. We'll say Kate just says he likes Maine to cover. It looks like they're laying a pretty good laying 1. It was as high as 3.5 against Merrimack today. So Merrimack's been pretty bad, but I think they've got a number or 2 of late. Probably, because they're getting a bushel full every time. Cage, a few more college basketball comments before we move on. Cages loves Iowa State to cover all those points. Cages said he also likes Minnesota and the under team struggle offensively. And we're on a little bit of a break here before we get into the hockey, so we can touch on Wayne, his comment on Tennessee. He wants Wayne.
He wants all the Tennessee teams today.
Wayne, are you a homer? Let us know now.
Is
Anyway,
Nashville playing
Titans
today? I
and
don't see the Predators anywhere. You can't really add them.
Jay says take Tennessee in their game, right? We talked about that game back on Thursday, Wayne. So if you want to see our pick, you can go check out what we had to say. Mindy and I had 2 plays on that game on our Thursday show. We weren't in disagreement necessarily, but we talked about that game and didn't come to a consensus.
Same, Wayne, same, right?
Well, I'm not a homer, that's for sure. I like half the teams half the time. So,
and the other half the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to get into hockey now and get this show concluded so we can get you guys out of here and get you betting. Let's take a look first. This is a 6-game card today, and it's going to start off with the Abs and the Blues. Boy, it was a pick'em earlier, kind of interesting, but let's see what it is now as we.
Let's see if it perks up. She perks up. Yeah. It's hockey time.
I'm showing Colorado now a slight favorite here. Mindy, $1.15, total 6 under 15. So definitely a move to the total under. And a little bit.
I like the total over though today. Oh. Both these teams allowing a lot of goals on defense. Yeah. Avalanche are allowing 4 per game. Blues 5.5 goals a game. Over's 5-1 the last 6 between these two. In St. Louis, I'll be taking the over.
All right, Mindy wants the over here with Colorado and St. Louis. St. Louis 8-2 to the over in their last 10 games. Certainly something to note there. I was kind of leaning the other way, Mindy, I think, in this one. So I don't know. I don't even know if I can come to grips on the side with this one with Colorado. A slight favorite here, certainly. I don't necessarily want to disagree with you, but I don't mind the move on Colorado. So let Mindy have the over. I'll lay off a little bit. I don't think my hockey was too clean yesterday. We did have the Islanders. We lost with the Islanders yesterday, but we did win with Ottawa, right?
That's right.
Against Nashville, or what was it, Nashville or Washington? Washington.
Oh, you're gonna have to try to make me remember.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. I was just looking.
This brain is already a jumbled mess, Ramon. I can't remember anything.
Well, it settles it. Latifa's on Colorado and over, so I'll take Colorado. I'll take Colorado.
You better take them.
Yep. I'll take Colorado. You take the over. We got a couple of plays there agreeing with us in the chat. So, all right, the Kraken. Kraken going to take on the Panthers here. Kraken, one of the best road teams in the NHL, coming in here. But Florida, I think Florida's playing a whole lot better of late. But Kraken are taking money right now. Florida is minus $1.60. And the total 6.5 over 15. So there is a little bit of a move here to the under.
But hasn't the Kraken lost 3 in a row now, only scoring 4 goals in the last 3 combined?
Oh, no.
I know. So I'm taking the Panthers here. They just beat the Kraken 5-1 December 3rd. I'll take them again. Let's go with Bob minus 165.
All right. Yep. And these goalies are just the consensus possible goalies, so never anything too official. But
I just know that you call him Bob, so I thought I would get in on the action and
gotta call
him Bob.
Curtis likes Seattle on the puck line here. It is minus $1.80. So not sure I can get too involved there, and I don't know if I was going to necessarily get involved with Florida. Seattle does still have that 8-2 road record. Florida 7-2 at home, however. Under 9-17 to the under for Seattle so far, although Florida has gone over in 5 of their last 6 games. But yeah, you mentioned it. Seattle having trouble all of a sudden scoring. So I'm going to end up going under here. Latifa does say over the first period. I like I like when the chat comes in with some derivatives. We have the option to do that, but since we sell sides and totals pretty much as the standard at Tony's Picks, that's Mindy and I kind of stay away from too many props or derivatives on the show. Maybe we'll give them out like on Tony's show or something like that. Wayne says, watch out, Panthers can score. Definitely their scoring has been sharply improved of late, no doubt about it. I think we've expected more from the Panthers. I think we're starting to get it. I'm going to go under, though, in this game. Mindy says take Florida. Kings and Blue Jackets. I'm showing the Kings are up to $1.45. They proved me wrong. They keep, I don't know. I don't like to be wrong on the Kings.
Oppo on the Kings.
Yeah. Especially because I was kind of on them a little bit on some of their winning streak. But the total here, 6.5 under 20. Kings are up to $1.45.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the under. It's 7-1, the Blues. Blue Jackets last 8 overall. 10-2-1, the Kings last 13 Sunday games. And Ramon, it's Sunday. Under has hit 4 out of the last 5 as well. I'll take the under.
All right, Mindy is going to be on the under in the game with the Kings and the Blue Jackets, going under a pretty nice number there, 6.5 in that one. I don't know if I trust the Kings to lay a price here on the road. Let's see if the chat, it looks like Curtis says Blue Jackets on the money line. That's probably minus $2 or so. So I'm probably not going to get involved there. Let's see, Columbus 3-6-1 in their last 10 games. Kings still 8-2 to the over in the last 10. Columbus 11-6 to the over at home. Oh boy, I don't know.
This is a lot of misinformation going every which way.
Yeah, and I'm gonna actually take Columbus on the. I'm gonna take Columbus here today plus the money. All right.
Okay.
Wayne, I'm not sure on this. Unking two lame teams. He might be doing voice text. They might be saying these are too lame. No, he can't be doing that because the Kings aren't lame, right? The Kings are playing pretty decent. So
I think it's too lame. Both these teams are lame. Lay off of them. I think that's what he's saying.
Okay.
Oh, under.
Oh, under in the Kings game, maybe under. Yeah, okay. Mindy says go under as well. I'll take Columbus. I'm not thrilled about it, but I just it's mostly on the move, playing the money a little bit. Their Kings are probably not $1.45 here, but again, I just got burned with them on a play that I had the Kings graded out at like minus 135, and it went up to like 175. To me, that and it wasn't it didn't look to be injury or goalie related. It just looked like to be a public move. So I usually go against those, and the Kings beat me again. All right, don't feel great about that one. How about the Capitals and the Jets? In this one, I'm showing the Jets minus $1.25, maybe minus $1.20. The total is 6, and it's starting to creep up. It's 6 over 15 at some spots. It's over 10 at the discount books.
Yeah, is it allowed to say that the Jets have been playing good ball? Is that okay to say, or do I have to say some good hockey? They've won 4 in a row now. Beat the Blackhawks 3-1 in their last one, putting up almost 5 goals a game during their last 4. Capitals 3-1 the last 4 games, scoring 3 goals per game in that span. I like the Jets. They're 5-1 their last 6 games following a win, 14-3 in their last 17 home games. Let's go Jets. Don't say no, Latifa. What? I wasn't even done. You can't say no right in the middle. Oh my goodness.
Well, she's on the Jets, so I don't know.
Oh, I thought she said no, Mindy. No, she said no.
Winnipeg
first. She does like the Jets. Okay. All right. I think she heard me say the Capitals are 3-1 their last 4, and then she said, no, I got it. Yes.
Yeah.
Me and Latifa, we're seeing eye to eye. Go Jets.
Well, Stever says take the. I think he says over in this. I'm not sure if he means this game, so I will.
Oh, she said I can't say ball. Okay, I got it.
That's
I
right.
got it
The
now.
team is going to definitely
Gonna say they're playing
make
some good
the.
ball.
So Curtis does say over. I don't know if Seaver was talking about. I won't flash it up there too long because I don't know if he meant this game or the Kings game on that one. So, but Mindy, I think the Jets are a little bit of a well kept secret right now as far as making money. Right? I mean, they're 10-3 at home. They're 10-1 as a favorite straight up. And again, the Jets, they're never favored. I don't really use the underdog favorite role in hockey too much because you can say, oh wow, they're 10-0 as a favorite. Well, yeah, they've been $2. It's like uh, an elite team. Of course, they've been 10-0 because they're Boston, right? I mean, they win every game as a favorite. But here with Winnipeg, they're never a big favorite, right? I mean, they're always just a great price, $1.25 for a team that's 10-1 as a favorite. Okay, they're not going out there. Winnipeg's not going out there at -$2
Right.
every game, right? And Washington just 7-13 as an underdog. These teams are combined. Watch out, you guys. Talking about the over here, they're 33-1 to the under so far. I'm against all you guys as far as the chat. It might even make my premium here, but for Mindy and I, we're going to be on Winnipeg for sure. We need a hockey play.
There we go. We got it.
College play, so. All right, Blake also with us, I believe, here. He says, go with the ladies.
Right.
Yeah. And don't forget, I'm an honorary member of Two Old Ladies That Bet.
Right. Two Old Ladies That Bet, plus Ramon.
Let's talk about the Flyers and the Coyotes now. And I'm showing that the Flyers are the favorite now. Just a slight favorite. You might be also seeing a lot of pick'ems out there, folks. Tell me what you guys are seeing in the chat. What are you guys seeing for a line? I'm showing the Flyers here might be just the slightest of favorites now. Maybe $1.10, maybe even less at the discount books. The total, however, was 6 under 20, but now I think we pretty much can say a lot of books have gone to 5.5 over as the total.
The Flyers have won both meetings with the Coyotes here last season. They're 3-1-1, the 5 trips to Arizona since 2016. Favorite is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings here between these two teams. So I will take the Flyers -110.
Yeah, when we're on Arizona, I mean, we like them on the road as huge underdogs. Do we like them in a pick'em game? Even against the Flyers, I'm not so sure. A lot of Flyers games have been under, Latifa says. I'm not. I don't know if I can get with the total, especially down to 5.5. She says she'll stay away, but I think we got to take Philly. This looks like the spot for me to take Philly here. I will say Philly's 11-16-1 to the under, and Arizona's 3-7 to the under in their last 10. So the steam has come in on the under, no doubt about it, at 5.5. So I'm going to take the Flyers here with Mindy. Let's get a second premium together. And Arizona's pulled off some surprises, no doubt about it. And this wouldn't be a surprise if they win. Just really like the spot here for Philadelphia. In a pick'em game, I like them here. All right, Mindy. Well, I couldn't I flashed this line up there. I knew when I typed this line in, I said, there's just no way that when I get to the show, this is going to be 140 or 145. And sure enough, the Bruins are already up to 160 now. Granted, it looks like the Golden Knights possibly will be going with Hill in goal tonight. And I'm sure that's why you're seeing the move to 160, and the total is pretty much 6 flat.
And Ron G, thanks for joining us there as well. We didn't quite get his comment up. It was right at the edge of being included there in the Winnipeg game. But yeah, I mean, Golden Knights. What's that?
Nice to have Ron. Do
yeah,
we
for sure.
got a new face a new. I don't know what you call. If you don't put your avatar up, is it a new letter? Is it a new name? New name. Welcome to Team Steam. Go ahead, Mindy.
Yeah, but the Golden Knights, they've scored only 3 goals in their last 2 games combined. We talked about them after getting off to that really hot start. Then they kind of fizzled, then they kind of came back, and now I don't know what's going on again. Bruins here, we know that they're ranked first in goals against. Knights are 7th. I'm going to take a look at the under. It's 5-1-1. The Golden Knights last 7 games playing on 1 day rest. Under 6-2-1 Bruins last 9 versus a team with a winning record here as well. I kind of just feel like I can't really trust the Golden Knights to put up a lot of goals here as of late. When they had that really nice, run there for a while, I think they're kind of back to, I need to see something more from them.
Well, I might be opposite of you here on the total, but I'm not going to go against you on the free chat. I don't know if anyone make a premium, but at 6, at a flat 6, with the back, if the second team goalie is in there, I'm not sure. Wayne does agree with you, and it was great to have Wayne here today.
Yeah, for sure.
Joining us. I'm going to take Boston. I know I'm not getting the best price, so it's going to be a free play for me. Boston. What could you say? I mean, they're just unbelievable right now. Yes, Vegas says, maybe this could be a Stanley Cup preview. No doubt
Yeah,
about
you could go check out the game, Ramon, so you can report
looking
back.
forward to that. I'm looking forward to going to a
It'd be a fun
Golden
one.
Knights game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to get me out of the satellite studios here. It was back in San, I always, I've been to a lot of great sporting events, so usually it takes something special for me to get my butt up off the chair. But to go to a first Golden Knights game, I think I can.
Ramon, has the can't miss out mentality, right? You got to hear the Steam plays. You got to hear the notifications.
No doubt about it. So
he's addicted to it.
Yeah, I don't want to miss anything on the game, right? Maybe if they're playing like the only game, like if it's the only game, it's the night game, and there's nothing left in sports. That's when I want to go and be at the game. But Boston, 16-2 is a favorite. We know they've been favored in just about every game. But Vegas, for their 20-8 record, they're only 8-6 at home this season. Boston, 7-4 on the road. So for me, I'm going to take Boston in this one. Lay the $1.60 here. Latifa says could end at 6. So that would be 4-2 for me. But Curtis did say he liked the puck line in that game. I don't know if I had put Curtis's pick up there. So
I don't mind that play. I don't.
$1.90, so I probably would not be involved there. But I'll take the Bruins. Okay. All right.
Complete. Mission complete.
That's it. I don't know if we have much else we could tell you about the games today, or if you guys have any questions or comments. But I do know that we're going to go one more time over to Tony'sPicks.com. And don't forget, if you ever miss our show, that all of our picks, they are for sale. Now, we're not asking you guys to buy them. You guys are here watching the show. But if you ever miss the show and want to make sure you get the picks, you can subscribe to them. And you don't have to go back and watch the show. You can always go back. It's right here on YouTube. It's on all the platforms. But if you click on Morning Steam, and, these plays aren't exactly cheap, but we do appreciate if you subscribe to them. We charge just as much as we do the premium plays. We don't call them cheap. We call them inexpensive. But you're getting plays that information we're giving you for free. But again, it really helps us out if you ever want to subscribe to these plays, maybe get a 3-day pass or a 7-day pass. You're going to be missing the show or something. And just know that when you purchase a package with Tony'sPicks.com, that some of the money goes directly to us, quite frankly, to be honest. And we're independent contractors with Tony. It's a great situation for us, and a pleasure and an honor to be, part of Tony'sPicks.com. So, but again, if you miss the picks or just want to make sure you get the picks and are going to be here on the show, please consider picking up one of these packages so you can get the morning Steam picks. And again, remember, it's just not Mindy and I, it's all of you guys contributing with us. Yeah, we have the final say, But and again, I mean, we are the ones that try to make sure we get a good record in case, because there are people I know. Tony's told us that maybe don't watch the show that buying these plays, and we see that they are because we get paid off of it, quite frankly, and that's the only way we uh, make our money here on this site, and betting, of
Right.
course. Too. So, great, Wayne. Thank you so much. And again, uh, don't subscribe. Come here, watch the show. These are free picks. If you are going to subscribe, uh, please consider our premium picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. These are plays that you're not getting from Mindy and I on the show. And quite frankly, we reserve our best plays for our premium picks. You see, for example, Mindy 10-8 yesterday. I'm sure she wanted better. That's not one she's going to, she's going to say good job. We're always going to say good job when
Right.
you come up. I mean, look, if you're betting $100 a game on Mindy's plays yesterday, you made $112. We'd like to make a little more. You'd like to make a day's pay or whatever. But we know that if people are paying for Mindy's plays where, quite frankly, her package is, $100 for a weekend and, 179 for 7, whatever it is. But again, you're probably playing more than $100 a game. Our plays are graded at $100 a game. And if you're buying picks, there's a charge of that. When you pay a tout, you're not going to go buy a tout play for $25 and then go bet it for 50, right?
Right.
You're probably playing $200 or $300 a game. Never bet over. Read the bottom of Tony's Picks website. Never play over your head and follow all the rules in your area and all that. But again, if you're a serious player, you're probably playing 2, 3, or more per game. So when you see a day like 10-8, Mindy plus 112, probably more like plus 250, $300 because you're playing a little bit more. So don't forget all of our features over at Tony's Picks as well. These include our best bets. Our handicappers can designate their best play each day over at Tony's Picks. You see Tony coming off a 5-0-1 day. He's got his $15 best bet in an NFL game. It looks like an afternoon game. So focus in on that. In fact, it looks like it looks like the night game actually. So it says starts in 9 hours. So it looks like to me that's probably in the Miami Charger game. So Tony's got it there. Collins has his NFL best bet as well. Nick is coming in with an NHL best bet today. Brandon has an NFL best bet in an afternoon game. Pravi, our newest capper, coming off a nice day yesterday. He's got an NFL game at 10 o'clock. He's also got a college hoop play coming up. And you see everybody there. Sam's got an NFL best bet as well. Don't forget also we have in addition to the $15 plays, many of which you see here as the discount best bet. A lot of people like to tie those in, as Tony says, feature the service, get you take just like we saw in the comments with Wayne. Always a nice maybe try just a $15 pick. Now, never going to base a handicapper's success on one play. So we're always going to recommend Mindy and I, especially our long-term packages, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day passes. That's where you really get a feel. And you can go back and check out the records of all of us and see. And quite frankly, look, we know handicapping is tough. Look at the records of the handicappers. It's tough, but really what we see are you find a handicapper who's hot and you ride that streak. And that's what happens a lot of times. I mean, I always say, and I'm, a very self-deprecating person, and Tony gets on me for that a little bit, Mindy, but I also do say that no one lights up the leaderboard like I do too. I mean, when I get on the roll, it's, I can go, 9-2, 10-3, 8-1 over a 3-day span like nobody's business, and not just making that up. I think everyone here who follows Tony's Picks has seen that, and you can also check the previous record and also all those features over there, Mindy, on our What's Hot leaderboard. Let me just also cover the 3-packs real quick before we get out of here. Covering a lot of this because it's Sunday. We have a lot of people joining us, want to if you guys are done with us, that's fine. If you're familiar with us, but here, make a note of these 3 packs of plays today. Tony, Colin, Sam, they've all got them up. There's Mindy's NBA. She's hot right now. Told you that record in the NBA, because what you can do is go over to this Who's Hot button, and you can actually break down how the handicappers do. We mentioned Mindy's hot streak right now in the NBA, a 14-5 run. Look what Tiffany's doing as well, 18-8. How about the morning steam, Mindy?
Right.
6 in our last 19 NBA plays. Tony 7-1-1. So again, I'm coming off that 8-0 day. I'm hoping to that on the show. You don't see it
Right.
up there, but I gave away a lot of free winners here yesterday. But you can go to our site here and kind of break this down a little bit. You can actually choose spread, money line, or total. And I like to look at the total, for example, where look at this, Mindy, you've been all totals.
Almost.
It's almost right, but you can look at the totals. You can see, you can look at it from a spread perspective as well, where Ben is the hottest NBA capper at 10-4, and you see Tony 5-1-1, and you can also see how each person is doing with their. Okay, Mindy, how about your best bets with the spread this year in the NBA? So, folks, if you see Mindy with a best bet and a spread pick, and you can go through the pick ticker and see right away if it's a spread or a total. 22-7, Mindy. Right. I would just stick to best bets and with Mindy. Get them all. I'm just kidding you, but you can see what you can.
Like I said, this is a nice feature, for us to see how we are doing. So I think it's good work.
Well, here's another one, Mindy. Mindy's $15 bets are 10-2. Let me just not talk to the chat. Mindy, you're not charging enough.
Right.
$15 a play to go 10-2.
It happens. It's the introductory to my service. So, it's like you got to reel some folks in, right?
Fair enough. And these are all documented by a third party. Good job on Ben, too. I want to mention him. $15 plays, 9-2 against the spread. Great job, Ben. So again, you can kind of break these down and kind of find maybe what fits your needs or what you're looking for. So interestingly, no one charges $15 for their totals.
Interesting.
I want to know. There we go. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody, for putting up with me there. They do ask us here, Tony and the GM, to make sure we promote the site. And of course, we're going to do that because that's how Andy and I make our living here, selling plays, and that's what we. What
everyone likes to get paid for their work, right? You go to your job to get paid, and we like to come to our job to get paid. So it's part of the deal, and we appreciate all of the support as well.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who joined us today. This is going to take a second, Mindy, but I'm not going to stop until it just becomes too much of a hassle. But I want to thank Matt. I want to thank Scott. Wayne Moran, thank you for joining us today for your first comments. Hopefully you've been with us a little bit. We'd love for you to subscribe as well. Don't forget, use the promo code TonyT at checkout. That saves you 20%.
Yeah, and that you can only find that promo code on these YouTube videos. So it's special to you folks that watch.
Yep. Latifa, glad you had a great time at the game. Can't wait to see what you're going to send me from the game. I was thinking, do they have any like plastic cups that you drank your soda pop or maybe your beer out of that have Army and Navy? I want something like, if you brought them home, sometimes maybe you bought 2 or 3 beers and have these plastic cups. Did they have anything like that? That's what I want.
You can find Ramon.
Curtis was here today as well. Just going to get everybody in here. Blake, of course, is always joining us. Seaver has been bringing the heat, hasn't he, over the last couple of days as well. So I know there's more. Cages was here as well today, Mindy. And Thurman Hill was here today. Also, Bobby Smith. Great to have Bobby Smith in the comments today. First time we've met him. So great job. Matt T was here as well. Also Matt D, of course. Dave was here. Dave Redling was here. So we appreciate him always stopping by. And well, let's see. Oh, how about Goosey Who Dat Nation?
Yeah, there you go. Who dat? Who day?
Who dat gonna beat them Saints? Hamid was here as well, always stopping by. Joe Anthony made fun of me calling McDaniel logic.
At least you get
Kevin,
comments, Ramon.
Kevin was here asking about Trevor Lawrence, and yes, I'm sorry we did not answer that. He is probable for today's game, so sorry if he's not here, but at least we can close the door on that when he was asking if Trevor Lawrence was going to play. 954 Reese, we did not mention, I don't think.
I
But
don't recall. Sorry about that, Reese.
we want to mention that's why we're doing. We want to make sure we see each and every one of you here in the the comments with us. I mean, this is the most important part, really, of the show is your guys' contribution. We didn't know it was going to be that way when we started, but it's obvious to us now that really this is really the most important part. So Matt D also, we had Matt T, we got Matt D, we got all the Matts here. So, all right. Oh, Arnez Little was here as well. Mindy, I'm sure they're waiting for me to get off the air so they can make a bunch of videos. So let's just get on out of here. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with more Morning Steam with Mindy and I. We'll be ready to go for a Monday, including Monday Night Football, New England and Arizona, but we're still going to be here. All right. For Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.